So we are back and welcome to our weekly Wednesday night show. And as you can see, we have a new member who I'll let Deanna introduce, and we have so many topics to cover. So I'll let Deanna introduce.
Well, thanks for the intro, Chelsea. The gang is back. Brianna, she's not able to come on today, but we have Jack, Chelsea, Tally, and we got our newest member of the NCPreps intern group, Hadley Walker from Lake Norman High School. Welcome aboard, Hadley. Tell everybody what you do, what you're involved in at Lake Norman, and what your plans are in the possible future.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you guys so much for this opportunity. First off, hi everybody. I'm Hadley. I'm a junior at Lake Norman High School, and my sophomore year at Lake Norman, I interned with the football team and charted offensive tendencies. So basically what I did is looked at our opposing offense and charted the tendencies to better help our defense understand how to make tackles and how to defend better. So that's been my past year at Lake Norman. And my upcoming goals are definitely to be in sports journalism. I would love to be in broadcasting one day. That is definitely a big dream of mine. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, welcome aboard. And so,
Welcome.
Chelsea, you're the hostess today. Let's go. Let's start the show.
So our first topic is with volleyball and the new mask mandate and just how the season's been going. And I know Tally is in her senior volleyball season. So Tally, just what it's been like, with games and then with masks and just COVID restrictions.
Yeah, so the mask mandate came really recently, actually last Thursday, I want to say. I will say I do wish they gave us a little more time to prepare, just because playing with the mask on and playing with the mask off is two very different things. And given that we had our first game on Tuesday, I would have liked to have had a little more time to prepare. But it's really just getting used to all the new restrictions. I mean, along with the mask, there's the bench being spaced apart, the 25-person limit. None of our fans can come to away games, which is hard because volleyball is gaining momentum and getting the crowd rallied. So that's definitely been hard. And also something I learned today in practice was that a lot of I know Cabarrus County Schools does this, and I'm not sure about other conferences, but they make their players drive themselves to the games. So they don't want anybody on the bus. Yeah, they don't want anybody on the buses. And I'm Kannapolis City Schools, so we actually are fortunate enough to have the buses. But it's been crazy. But I am looking forward to the rest of the season and hopefully just getting used to all these regulations.
Do you guys have live stream? I've seen a lot of live streams, links, and everything on Twitter and my Facebook page. Do you guys have a Facebook Live or a YouTube live stream?
Yeah, so Cabarrus County Schools, which we're actually not a part of, but we follow with them very closely. They have a live streaming service across all their schools for I think all their indoor sports, I want to say. And it costs a small fee to subscribe, but they cover every single game, and we're kind of following along with that. But we're trying to get the kinks worked out in that. It wasn't running yesterday, but hopefully it'll be up tomorrow.
I know for my school, our volleyball season started Monday, which I guess was a bit later than other schools. But I know the mask hit them hard with I think they lost, and I heard that the coach was very upset about the momentum that was going on in the game. But I think at least they have games going, which is better than nothing, but very different. And then I know Jack brought up we have some football championships, which I don't know much about, but if anyone else wants to talk about, I know we have Parrott Academy beat St. David's and Providence lost.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm actually going to the John Paul and Parrott game on Saturday, the state championship game. I got to watch Parrott play St. David's in their season and opener. St. David beat them, and then as you just said, Parrott beat St. David in the rematch. So Parrott beat St. David by 11 when they played earlier in the season. So I'm going to be going to that game. I know Christ School I think Christ School plays Bethel, maybe. Is that right, Dina?
I'm not sure.
I think Christ School plays Bethel, and then those are the two that I've been looking on just because Bethel and Parrott are close to me, so I know that those two play, and I think I'm excited. Even though it's 8-man football or it's private school football, it's still a championship, and those kids, these seniors, this is their last game. So Harold's is also in the state championship, so I'm excited to see that that the private schools are playing, and that this is the state championship week.
And Charlotte
Yeah.
Christian taking on Raven Gap, who I think pulled off a really big upset. Providence State, they seem to be cruising to a possible rematch with Charlotte Christian and Raven Gap, who is not in North Carolina, but they play in the North Carolina Independent School League. So they're going to play for a state championship against Charlotte Christian.
Mm-hmm. And then Deanna, you're the football knowledge. So just what do you expect for these championships coming up? And just what have you seen like coming to the end of football season?
Well, the COVID issue has been somewhat kind of messed up the season. I know Charlotte Country Day had to drop out of the playoffs due to a COVID case. And other than that, I think it's been pretty entertaining. There's been a lot of good games, and there's not as many teams in the private school leagues. So when the public schools start up in February, it's going to be a show, because
Yeah.
I mean there's going to be a lot of teams that maybe was expecting to have a great year, but due to some of the kids that are the elite players that are signing early and going on in early enrollee in their universities, it's going to change the outlook on some of these games. So I'm looking forward to high school sports. We've all been to these camps and combines all summer and fall, and I really want to see some games. And I'm glad basketball's starting up, and Jack and Jamie have been talking about basketball. So and Tally's got volleyball. So I just want to watch some high school sports.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have 3 interviews for tonight, and so we have volleyball, football, and basketball. So I know, Tally, you did volleyball. So if you want to tell us about who you did, just about your interview.
Yeah, so I did Zan Moose, actually a member of my volleyball team. After the game yesterday, I thought it'd be interesting to talk to a player like after the competition, not just in preparation for the season. So Zan's an outside hitter and middle back, sorry. She plays all the way around, and she's the team captain of our team this year. So wanted to hear from her.
Awesome.
All right.
Hey, I'm Tally Hagler, back with this week's show. I'm here with Zan Moose, and we're here to talk about the tough loss we took at Northwest Cabarrus tonight. Zan, what were your thoughts going into this game?
So Northwest Cabarrus is a really big rival for A.L. Brown, so I knew we had to be strong, put up a good fight, and just play our best.
Of course. Now, with that being said, what do you think are some of the strengths you had and strengths you want to build on for next game at Central Cabarrus?
I think we can all make sure we communicate with each other good and just do our part in the game to make sure that each character in each position is doing their job.
So obviously there is a reason that took a loss tonight. So what are some of those weaknesses, and how are we going to improve on those tomorrow and then Thursday at Central Cabarrus?
I think we all made a few silly mistakes that are easily fixable, and that's why we lost with this short amount of points, by 2. So fix those, or should be good for next Thursday.
Yeah. So you're a captain this year. So how do you use your leadership skills to build this team?
I want to make sure everyone knows that they can trust on me and they can talk to me, and that when I say something, that we all build off of it, and that everyone has a voice and they're all heard.
Yeah, of course. All right, well, that's it for this segment, and thank you very much for tuning in, Zan.
Awesome.
I thought that was a great interview.
Thank you.
And also, I love seeing from
Yeah, it was right
teammate to
after the
teammate.
game.
Yeah.
So you got it right then. But I was going to ask Hadley, you're at Lake Norman, a lot of good sports teams there. We've been talking a lot about Lake Norman Christian and the basketball program they're building. Lake Norman, your high school's had a history of some good athletes coming in there. What's the outlook for Lake Norman this year, in football wise?
Football wise, right now they're doing 2-a-days. So I mean, it's obviously weightlifting one day and outside practice one day. I go usually once a week and go help them film. So I get to see a little glimpse of practices. Obviously, social distancing is a huge aspect of it. I've never seen anything like it. There are circles on the field, and you stay inside your circle basically all day. And that's just how it is. It's hard to watch them because obviously they have a passion for this sport and they want to play. But they honestly, it's looking really good. They're excited. A lot of the boys have taken this off season and just put hard work in. And that's amazing for me to watch them become these self-sufficient athletes who say, you know what, this is not us who have caused this, but we're going to make the best of it. And so far, that's what we're doing. And we're really excited for this upcoming season.
Thank you.
Great.
Yes.
And then we'll get to Jack. I know you did a interview after a game with Greenfield where your uncle coaches.
Yes,
So if you just want to tell us about that.
Yeah, my uncle is the coach at Greenfield. He's been there for a long, long time, basically his whole coaching career. So he was there when Harlem Globetrotter Anthony Atkinson was there. He was there, obviously, when Kobe White was there, who now plays for the Bulls. So they kicked off their season against Dash Homeschool a few nights ago. They're led by actually 2 of their 3 best players are freshmen. So it's crazy to think that they're just as old as me and they're younger than some of y'all, and they're getting already Division I offers from Wake Forest and places like that. So Hampton Evans, Jordan Vick are their names. Hampton actually played on the team last year as the 6th man as an 8th grader. Hit a huge shot in the MLK Classic to beat the Burlington school. And then they just got the guy that I interviewed, a transfer from J-Tros High School, Aaron Murphy. So he played on the wing, and their weakness this year is they're very small. Their tallest player on the team is about 6'4", 6'5". So Aaron's wide and tall, so he's going to be able to play down on the block sometimes and defend some of those taller and lengthier guys. So they won. I mean, they won by like almost 60 points. So I just thought it was nice to talk to them or talk to Aaron after a big win and why he came to Greenfield and what he's looking forward going into the season.
All right.
Here with Aaron Murphy, Greenfield basketball player after a huge win over Dash Academy. Aaron, you transferred from J-Tros here over the offseason. What were some of the reasons that you decided to come to Greenfield?
I feel like I have a better opportunity, more opportunities academically and sports-wise, making it to college level. That's my dream.
For sure. You guys had a big win this today. Over a 60-point win. What were some of the things that got you going yourself personally that were able to get you to knock down some shots and get some rebounds?
Just remember what my coach saying in practice, relying on my teammates, setting me up, coming in off the tip with their fire, talking on defense. We don't got no fans, so we have to talk. That gets me hyped up, ready to put it on the glass.
What were some things that you guys did as a team that you felt like you did really well that you guys had been preparing for in practice?
We slide and we rotated on defense, communication on D. Like I said before, we got no fans, so we got to talk on the bench and on the court.
You guys being led by yourself and a few other freshmen, why do you think people should consider Greenfield a contender for the state championship?
Because we got a bunch of dogs. Our youth, they're the future, and they're going to come at you hard each and every play.
Yeah. Coach Salter is one of the best in the state. What are some things that you've been able to see over the past months that have proved to you yourself that he's one of the best coaches in North Carolina?
In and out. Me being able to go in and out, having Kobe White in the gym talking to us, and he's saying the same stuff that Coach Salt did when he taught him. So it's just, I love Coach Salt, and this is my first game playing for him. He already taught me a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, so Jack, I did think it was interesting you talking about some of those young kids getting recruited so early by those Division I schools, and just being an athlete myself that wanted to be recruited by those big schools. What are you guys' thoughts on recruiting kids who are in 8th, 9th, 10th grade?
I think programs that offer those guys that young are just trying to get the reputation that they like to go after those young guys, and then that builds, players the teams that always like to offer everybody, and then there's the teams that offer just a few kids, and there's pluses and minuses to that. If you offer to everybody, then you're going to be guaranteed to get a lot of commits, but at the same time, that doesn't really make the people getting offered feel special. Now, if you don't offer a lot of people, then there's a chance that you could miss on a lot, and then your recruiting class would be bad. But I think Jordan has 2 Division I offers right now, Wake Forest and Vanderbilt, and he picked them up on the last week. So I think Wake Forest just got a new head coach, and they've been offering a lot of people lately. And I think that's just the type of culture that he wants to build there. And one isn't better than the other. And then Vanderbilt, obviously, with Jerry Stackhouse there, I think he's looking for. I mean, when you're at that school, Greenfield, you have Anthony Atkinson, who was a Harlem Globetrotter, followed up by Kobe White. Jordan Vick is the next point guard at Greenfield. I mean, that's just the line is determining that Jordan could be the next big player at Greenfield and through the state. So I think teams that offer those type of players, I think it's just the type of culture that they build, and no culture is worse than the other one unless it's toxic. And I don't think Wake Forest or Vanderbilt or Stanford or any schools that offer so many or so little schools are worse than any of the other ones.
Yeah. And I agree. And I also think it's just interesting to me to see like which sports offer when. I know before the recruiting rule opened up in softball, I had a bunch of friends. I didn't have a bunch. I had 2 friends in 8th grade committed to Division I schools to play softball. And you fast forward to today, and they're not committed to those schools anymore. You have a lot of growth from that time. You don't know what I don't think you know what you want to do when you're in 8th grade exactly. But it is interesting to see, and I know that football usually offers later, but there's a lot of like 2023s and 2024s already committing in baseball and softball. So it's just interesting to me.
Baseball is crazy. Like there's like 7th graders or like 8th graders that commit to SEC schools before they even play their first high school game. And that's just a thing that, like you said, baseball, when you verbally commit to somewhere, they can say you're not committed here anymore, and then you're gonna have to find somebody else because they outworked you as you get older. So I think
there could be some coaching changes. I just don't like the early offers. I mean, I cover recruiting, and there's kids getting offers at 8th grade. Freshmen, okay, that's okay. Sophomores is okay, but the first kid I ever heard of getting an offer football wise in 8th grade was Chris Leak, and you look what type of quarterback he was. He's probably before Sam Howell and Chad Surratt and all, those 2 guys broke off his records. He was the standard for quarterback here in North Carolina. But it's a game. Recruiting's a game. Some coaches may think, if I early offer these kids, I might be the favorite, because I can say I'm the first one to offer. I'm the first one that kind of believes in me. But some of that may resonate with the kid. But like you say, there's so much that can happen between an 8th grade year to a junior, coaching changes, and kids may develop better, and they may not want to honor your scholarship anymore. So.
And I think another thing is usually if you're getting a Division I offer when you're an 8th grader from a place like Vanderbilt, and this is not disrespect to any of those schools, you're going to get an offer from Duke or Carolina by the time you're a junior. And I don't know a lot of people, unless you're big into going to your hometown school or something like that, that would choose to go to that school, that small school, over going to Duke or Carolina or Kentucky. So I think, people do the way that they like to recruit for reasons. I'm not here to say that one is better than the other, because obviously I'm sure there's statistics and stuff that go into it and stuff. But like Dina said, the early recruiting, it seems to be more of a trend these days. And there's the pluses and minuses to it.
Yeah, I will say I think it's a little disheartening to some athletes, especially those kids who bloom later, get bigger later. I know my dad, he coached Brandon Parker. He plays for the Oakland Raiders now. He actually didn't start on the football team until his senior year. He then got a scholarship to NCAA and really developed in college, and that's when he got that chance to play at the Oakland Raiders. But my dad said, if I looked at him in high school, he was a great kid, but I never would have expected him to be the one, to be there playing for the Oakland Raiders. So I would say to people out there watching, just because somebody else is getting those offers right now, don't give up on what you're doing. Your time's gonna shine.
For sure.
See that all the time, kids. They're like, well, why haven't I got any offers? Well, it will come if you're destined to get one. Just don't be discouraged. Everybody develops at a different time, and like you said, there's some diamonds in the rough that turn into being jewels. And then there's some that are highly ranked, and they get that in their head, and they don't think, oh, I'm a 4 or 5 star kid, I don't have to go to the weight room, I've got my offer from Clemson and Alabama, I don't have to do this, do that. And it, psychologically, and it affects them. I've seen 4 and 5 star kids commit to these high major schools, and their attitude is not very good, and they don't develop. They end up at JUCO, and then you have a kid like Javonte Williams that didn't have an offer at all until he played in the state championship game his senior year, and he got one offer, and that was to UNC. Now look where he is. He is one of the top running backs in the country. So everybody's different, and that's my advice to all high school kids.
Just wait.
Just keep pushing for your goal.
I like that. We'll get into the third interview, which is mine, and I did Will Thomas, who is a defensive tackle from my school, Sanderson High School. He's a senior, class of 2021, and I believe he started picking up offers his sophomore year, and he has some major offers like Tennessee, Duke, Coastal Carolina, Liberty. Those are the standout ones. University of South Carolina. So reached out to him. It's fun to do someone from my own school who's so athletically gifted in their sport. So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so much for joining, and for those watching, this is the Rundown by Chelsea Sipple, and for this week, I'm having Will Thomas from Sanderson High School join me, and Will is a 3-star defensive tackle from class of 2021, Sanderson High School. So I'll get into the first question, and that is, with major offers from Tennessee, Duke, South Carolina, and so many more, describe your success so far at Sanderson.
I came a long way. First, I wasn't getting many offers, and then I just started working real hard, going to different camps, and I got taught by good coaches through the camps that I went to, and it just made me a better player. Then I stepped on my game, started getting offers, but it's not over yet. I'm gonna still get some more.
All right, looking into your senior year at Sanderson, what are some of your personal or team goals?
One of my goals is to become a better leader and have more time management.
All right. And then next, what do you think is one part of your game that clearly stands out?
My rushing. I'm good at rushing.
All right. And then what is one part of your game that you would consider kind of underlooked or underrated?
Nothing.
All right. And then what is the expectation for Sanderson High School football this year?
Well, right now we just getting our own little workouts individually, and we just try to work out and do our best. But I feel like soon we come together, it's gonna be raps. We gonna do good.
Yeah. And then describe yourself as an athlete on the field in a few words or phrases.
I'm a dog.
All right. And then final question, what do you like to do outside of football in your free time?
I play games.
All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining. And for those watching again, this is Will Thomas from Sanderson High School Football. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, we lost
Did we lose Callie?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
Jack, we got to do a live update since
Yeah.
we are based in North Carolina. What just happened on the NBA draft?
Well, so the top 3 picks have been picked. First overall was Anthony Edwards to the Timberwolves. Second overall was James Wiseman to the Warriors, and then third overall to Charlotte. LaMelo Ball got drafted third overall to the Charlotte Hornets. I think it's a great pick for them. They need a ball dominant guy. They have Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier off the bench. So I think he has a chance to be a star in the league. And even when Charlotte had Kimba, nobody really talked about him oh dang.
Yeah.
Patrick Williams just got picked by
I just saw that.
Charlotte native. So he went to West Charlotte High School, just got picked number 4. That's a big surprise. So first North Carolina native off the board, and then we got Devin Dawson that's supposed to get drafted later.
Well,
and then
guys, what do you think about LaMelo's dad?
Well, I think
relation with Michael Jordan now.
Well,
what do you think about that? Now that's going to be interesting. Didn't he challenge Michael to a game?
Well, I think in high school, he was a little crazy, and then ever since, he's been quiet the past few years. I think hopefully Big Baller Brand shut down. I think he's realized that he needs to keep his mouth shut and let his sons make the money. So I'm hoping that he won't go crazy in Charlotte, because that would not be good. But yeah, I think that anybody paired with Michael Jordan, especially the Ball brothers and their dad, it's going to be interesting to watch.
For sure. And then so we have Devin Dawson still on the board. I know Tyshawn Alexander's from Charlotte, and he's from Craigton College. Patrick Williams just got picked, and then Josh Hall could hopefully be drafted.
Josh Hall's an interesting one.
Coming straight out of high school.
Coming straight, he was signed to go to NC State, declared to prepare for the NBA draft. He's projected late second round. I think a place even like Charlotte with the 54th pick could pick him up. I think when you get late into the second round, it's really just picking off potential. And I guess Josh, he's really young. He's got to be one of the youngest players in the draft, and he has great offensive game. So I think he has a chance to get picked, and I really hope he does. Players that go straight from high school, that's always an interesting story.
Yeah. I'll be watching the draft all night. So if y'all have any more topics you want to shoot out.
I was going to mention we have our next VTO camp.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be in the Raleigh-Durham area Sunday. It's going to be a afternoon type. Most of them have been in the mornings. So this is 2 to 6. Should be some really good kids there to participate in this. I reckon it's the last one of the year. So should be a good one, and hoping Chelsea and Jack's going to be there, and Hadley, you're more than welcome to come to that, and if you want to, and get you an interview as well. I'll send you the details after we go off air and everything. But it's been a good test for these guys to do their interview skills, and we probably can look at the very first one we had, and then you fast forward to y'all's interviews today, and you can probably say you're 100% better. Maybe on your end, being more confident and asking kids questions. And sometimes you just have to, when you're interviewing kids, you just have to ask natural questions. Maybe they give you an answer, and you follow up with it with another question. So, but this has been a great event. We've been all over the state. I've put nearly over 2,000 miles on the car from Asheville to Wilmington and all parts in between. So should be some good talent. I'm expecting Caleb Hood from Richmond County, and several of his teammates are supposed to be there. Rylan Van, a really good defensive lineman from Cary, he's supposed to be there. And then some of these kids that have been at some of the other ones are wanting to come to the Raleigh one as well. So it's going to be good. I just hope, though, it's really nice. I probably am spoiled after going to Wilmington and it being 80 degrees down there. So that's about all I've got. So anybody else have anything to say?
I was gonna say, this Saturday we've got a huge game in Rock Hill. Lake Norman Christian plays the Burlington School, which I think right now this could be two of the top 5 teams in North Carolina. So that's a big game. And I'm hopefully Hoop State will be live streaming it so I can watch it, because I do not have the time or money nor anything else to drive down to Rock Hill and watch that game.
I know. I love it when they do those free stream Fridays, but I can't pay for the other ones.
Exactly. So,
well, if that's all we have, we'll wrap it up. And Deanna, I'll give you the last word since you.
Just everybody stay safe and keep doing what you're doing, and we'll see you next time. And just stay safe and enjoy your high school sports.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.